In the meantime, here's the kicker. That healthcare law that's creating this part-time boom, thanks to Washington, well, it triggered a full-time retreat from the very folks who created it in Washington. Their problem, they were going to be forced to pay massive premiums. Now, thanks to a deal they just struck, it's us who's going to be picking up a big chunk of those premiums. Now, is that fair? To Democratic strategist Joe Trippi and on the right, taxpayer watchdog Gretchen Hamel. Gretchen, what happened here?
Well, I don't know, but you have to compare it to a restaurant where a chef and his own team wouldn't eat their own food. Would you go to that type of restaurant? That's exactly what this is. What we saw happen here with
clairvoyant young lady. I'll be getting into just that, but go ahead.
When the president came to Capitol Hill on Wednesday, he said he would find a quick fix for this solution to basically say that congressional staff would not have to be a part of the exchange program, and that he did. And we never have seen such a quick fix come about, and it came within 24 hours where OPM said that they would be picking up 75% of the tab for congressional staffers. $5,000 for individuals is what individuals would have had to pay, and $11,000 for families.
You know, Joe, this would not be the first time Congress has wanted some special treatment. I've seen it on the right, I've seen it on the left. But this is fairly egregious given its timing, because it's more or less saying from the folks in the kitchen who came up with the recipe that they don't much like the final product. And that worries me because they're shoving that product on me, on us.
Well, I mean, this was messed up from the very beginning on both sides, because this was Senator Grassley put an amendment in at the beginning of Obamacare that was forcing employees to go on the exchanges like the rest of us. That was the good part. The bad part was it looked like, and there was a finding, or a lot of regulators believed that it prohibited the federal government, which employs over 50 people, from doing an employer match like other corporations do out there. That's what had to be fixed, because no one could afford these premiums. So then both parties went to the president, both Boehner and Reid went to the president, and they worked out this.
Oh, no, Joe, I understand what's going on. Yeah. I understand how both sides wouldn't want to be a part of what was coming down the pike. But here's
both sides messed it up, Neil.
I fully agree, Joseph. I fully agree with you. But I'll tell you what, Gretchen. I mean, normally in a town where optics is everything, this says something. And it worries me. And now I'm just thinking, as we're rolling this out for whatever reasons, and Joe very nicely explained them on both sides, it's telling the American people, hey, something's up, because they're finding ways around this.
Exactly. Let's look at this. There's two things that are played to optics here. 2011, you had the waivers being given. Earlier this year, we saw that they were going to delay the employer mandate, but not the individual mandate. And here, you have those optics, a law that is unworkable, not manageable, and can't even be implemented. And then you have this quick fix solution that they did basically overnight to tell the American people, you know what, we wrote the bill, we shepherded it through the legislative process, but we want no part of it. So guess what? We're going to put ourselves above you. And that's where it says the priorities are. And I think that's what the American people already believed, is that Congress cared about itself first and foremost, cared more about politics than it cared about economics, and it actually cares about the American people and doing what's right for them.
You know, between the optics, Joe, and the facts and the taxes and the unexpected premium hikes, do you think this thing's in trouble?
No. I think, look, the optics are bad and the politics of it are bad, and it's got low approval ratings, but there's only one thing that has lower approval ratings, and that's Congress. And that's why I think, and the optics of this, the facts, I think the facts are arguable, but the optics are horrible. And it is gonna be a price to pay in 2014, Neil. But look, if people are rebelling, or looking at Congress, looking at they're treating themselves better than us. I mean, that they raise their pay while our pay's going down. All those kinds of factors come into the path. Guess who pays? Guess who's the majority in the House of Representatives right now? It actually could rebound against.
No. Can I want to step in here, Neil. Joe keeps blaming both sides, saying that both sides did this. Let's just not forget that this is the cornerstone of President Obama's first term.
This is his
amendment law.
Bottom line, Grassley didn't like this. He didn't like this thing. So the bottom line is that everyone's trying to find a way out, including those supporting it. I think it's human nature. I'm just telling it's telling. Guys, I wish we had more time. Unfortunately, we don't, because this whole discussion, like the law itself, is making me sick. But seriously, great having you guys.
I'm sorry, Neil.
I'm sorry too, buddy. In the meantime,